49 is a piecewise function, and then it says use interval notation we've got to graph it, and then it says use interval notation to specify where the function is increasing, decreasing, or a constant. This is a good one to look at. That will be my hint to you, especially come second part of the test time. One of these types of problems would be a good one to make sure you know how to do.
What did you say before that? You need to
know how to do this.
Oh, great.
This would be a good one to look at for your time of reviewing of possibilities of types of problems that may or be on the final exam. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This type of problem will be on your final. Got it? Does everyone understand? Yes, Megan?
Are you still recording?
Yes, I am still recording.
So is this going to be on the phone?
Maybe.
Yes, why do you think
Okay. So the biggest thing here is whenever we graph it, okay, graphing is going to tell you the majority of the story here. So I want to look at everything individually and kind of go from there. So what I would do is look at the first part. So it says your first part of your piecewise function is 4 minus 2x when x is less than or equal to negative 2. So with any of these, you have to find your critical points. Okay, your critical points are the ones that are given to you during each piece. Okay, now in different pieces, like in this case, on the first one, you only have one critical point. So that's going to give you where you're going to put your point on your graph for the first one. So if I have minus 2x, okay, I need to plug in this value right there. Okay, so I can get my y. Whoop. Right. So I'm going to plug in. I need to figure out what y is. I know what x is. I know I'm going to go over to negative 2, and I've got to figure out where am I going to put my point. Is it going to be an open or a closed circle? We'll get into that in a second. So from there, I'm going to have 4 minus 2 times negative 2. So I've got to get my critical point. So in doing that, I'm going to have 4 plus 4. So my first critical point is when x is negative 2, y is 8. So then all I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. Now, it's less than or equal to. So that means it's going to go from that point and it's going to go to, what if it's less than or equal to, is it going to go left or right? It's going to go left. Okay? This sign or symbol, whatever you want to call it, right here, will tell you which direction I should be going. So I'm going to plot my point at, my critical point here is at negative 2, positive 8. So I'm going to go over to my graph, and I'm going to go over to negative 2. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, why is it a closed circle? Because what? Because it includes the negative 2. Now, what I would suggest from here, if you aren't very comfortable with knowing what your graph should look like, will it do anything from that point to the right side? No, it's only going to go left. Okay, so if I'm at negative 2, what would be the next number that I would probably plug in here? Negative 3. The left, not the right. Okay, so I want to plug in x equal to negative 3. So again, I'm going to go 4 minus 2 times negative 3. So where's my next point going to be at? So 4 plus 6, so it's going to be at 10, right? So I'm just going to go over 1. I'm at negative 8. I'm going to go to negative 10. or excuse me, to positive 10, and I'm just going to draw my line kind of in that direction. It's kind of coming from that point. Okay, so let me do... Okay, so there's my x and my y axis. Now, I need to do the next one again. So, or the next tier, rather, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, or my next piece, since it is a piecewise function. So, I'm going to look here. The ones that have two critical points, especially one like this, should be fairly simple. Okay, because it's going to tell me that I'm going to have 2 points. Now, knowing that, what are both of those points? Are they open or closed? They're both open, right? Why are they open? Because they don't include the equal to part. Okay, so kind of my second tier, if I would kind of section it off here with the yellow, I'm going to have 2 points. What's my first x value? -2. What's my y value? 0. What's my other x value? 2. What's my same y value? 0. So that's going to be a straight line. So I'm going to go 2, and I'm going to have to put this on. So I'm going to go to -2, and I'm going to put an open circle here and an open circle there. I'm going to draw this in red. So I have an open circle at -2, 0, and I have an open circle at 2, 0. The constant ones are the easiest ones to do because it's a straight line. And realistically, the ones that have like 2 different critical points are the easiest ones because once I plug in those values, all I have to do, as long as it's not a funky one like a squared or an absolute value, if it has a regular slope, it's just as simple as connecting the dots like when you were a little kid. Now, the last one then is going to be right here. So again, I'm going to section that off. So from there, I'm going to take, what point am I going to plug in? 2. Okay, so I'm going to have y equals, I'm going to have 2 squared plus 1. So my y value is going to be at 5. Right? So when x was 2, my y value is at 5. So I'm going to come over here to my graph. So when x is 2, I'm going to go up to 5. Is it an open or a closed circle? Closed circle. Okay, so I go up to 2, I go over to 2, up to 5. Now, it is just a squared function. So it's going to have a little bit of curve to it. Which direction from that green point am I going to go? Left or right? Right. I can't go left because then it's not a function. Okay, remember, the whole point of this, it's a function. It is a piecewise function. So it just has different pieces, but it should never overlap. So then if I just kind of step through I go over 1, up 1, over 1, up 3, and it's going to have a little bit of curve like this here. Nope, my fault. Hold on. I was going from that vertex. So there's my point. My fault. Stop right there. Don't put that. What's my next point? 3. So what is 3 squared plus 1, right?
10.
So y is equal to 10. My fault. That wasn't my vertex. That was... So it's going to go right here and have something like that. My fault. So now we have to go through. So now we have it graphed. Now it should be fairly simple. When is the function increasing? Okay, so when is the time that my graph is going from the left to the right? When is it going up? From what x value? From 2 to positive infinity. When is it decreasing? From negative infinity to -2. Now, -2 is still included. And then when is it a constant? From where to where? -2 to +2, and those are not included. So it's a constant there, it's increasing here, and then decreasing there. Again, this one would be a good one to look at again. Just saying, in your spare time.